Hi everyone, welcome back to Bible in a Year. My name is Natalie and today we are on day 883. I'm so glad you're here today. That kind of surprised me. We are moving right along. We're going to be reading out of Exodus chapter 33, Proverbs chapter 15, Acts chapter 23, and then we're going to close out the day with Psalm 57. So let's get started in Exodus chapter 33. Yahweh spoke to Moses, "Depart, go up from here, you and the people that you have brought up out of the land of Egypt, to the land of which I swore to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, saying, I will give it to your offspring. I will send an angel before you, and I will drive out the Canaanite, the Amorite, and the Hittite, and the Perizzite, the Hivite, and the Jebusite. Go to a land flowing with milk and honey. But I will not go up among you, for you are a stiff-necked people, lest I consume you on the way." When the people heard this evil news, they mourned, and no one put on his jewelry. Yahweh had said to Moses, "Tell the children of Israel, you are a stiff-necked people. If I were to go up among you for one moment, I would consume you. Therefore, now, take off your jewelry from you, that I may know what to do to you." The children of Israel stripped themselves of their jewelry from Mount Horeb onward. Now Moses used to take the tent and pitch it outside the camp, far away from the camp, and he called it the tent of meeting. Everyone who sought Yahweh went out to the tent of meeting, which was outside the camp. When Moses went out to the tent, all the people rose up and stood, everyone at their tent door, and watched Moses until he had gone into the tent. When Moses entered into the tent, the pillar of cloud descended, stood at the door of the tent, and Yahweh spoke with Moses. All the people saw the pillar of cloud stand at the door of the tent, and all the people rose up and worshipped, everyone at their tent door. Yahweh spoke to Moses face to face, as a man speaks to his friend. He turned again into the camp, but his servant Joshua, the son of Nun, a young man, didn't depart from the tent. Moses said to Yahweh, "Behold, you tell me, bring up these people, and you haven't let me know whom you will send with me. Yet you have said, I know you by name, and you have also found favor in my sight. Now therefore, if I have found favor in your sight, please show me your way now, so that I may know you, so that I may find favor in your sight, and consider that this nation is your people." He said, "My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest." Moses said to him, "If your presence doesn't go with me, don't carry us up from here, for how would people know that I have found favor in your sight, I and your people? Isn't it that you go with us so that we are separated, I and your people, from all the people who are on the surface of the earth?" Yahweh said to Moses, "I will go do this thing also that you have spoken, for you have found favor in my sight, and I know you by name." Moses said, "Please show me your glory." He said, "I will make all my goodness pass before you, and will proclaim Yahweh's name before you. I will be gracious to whom I will be gracious, and I will show mercy on whom I will show mercy." He said, "You cannot see my face, for man may not see me and live." Yahweh also said, "Behold, there is a place by me, and you shall stand on the rock. It will happen while my glory passes by, that I will put you in a cleft of the rock, and will cover you with my hand until I have passed by. Then I will take away my hand, and you will see my back, but my face shall not be seen." That's it. I was ready to read on and watch God's glory pass by Moses. I had forgot it ended there. That is, I believe, my top 3 favorite passages in the Bible. How God and Moses just speak to each other as friends, face to face. And Moses has no fear of God. He in fact says, "Show me your glory." I don't know that I would ever have the nerve to ask anything like that of the Lord. But that was the relationship that they had. Just this agape love. This huge amount of love. And how the Lord says, "Okay, yeah, I'll do it this way. You can't see my face, but let me do it this way." Oh, I just love it. Proverbs chapter 15. We're going to read about some more words of wisdom. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise condemns knowledge, but the mouth of fools gush out folly. Yahweh's eyes are everywhere, keeping watch on the evil and the good. A gentle tongue is a tree of life, but deceit in it crushes the spirit. A fool despises his father's correction, but he who heeds reproof shows prudence. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but the income of the wicked brings trouble. The lips of the wise spread knowledge, not so with the heart of fools. The sacrifice made by the wicked is an abomination to Yahweh, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to Yahweh, but he loves him who follows after righteousness. There is stern discipline for one who forsakes the way. Whoever hates reproof shall die. Sheol and Abaddon are before Yahweh. How much more then the hearts of the children of men? A scoffer doesn't love to be reproved. He will not go to the wise. A glad heart makes a cheerful face, but an aching heart breaks the spirit. The heart of one who has understanding seeks knowledge, but the mouths of fools feed on folly. All the days of the afflicted are wretched, but one who has a cheerful heart enjoys a continual feast. Better is little with the fear of Yahweh than great treasures with trouble. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a fattened calf with hatred. A wrathful man stirs up contention, but one who is slow to anger appeases strife. The way of a sluggard is like a thorn patch, but the path of the upright is a highway. A wise son makes a father glad, but a foolish man despises his mother. Folly is joy to one who is void of wisdom, but a man of understanding keeps his way straight. Where there is no counsel, plans fail, but in a multitude of counselors they are established. Joy comes to a man with the reply of his mouth. How good is a word at the right time. The path of life leads upward for the wise, to keep him from going downward to Sheol. Yahweh will uproot the house of the proud, but he will keep the widow's borders intact. Yahweh detests the thoughts of the wicked, but the thoughts of the pure are pleasing. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, but he who hates bribes will live. The heart of the righteous weighs answers, but the mouth of the wicked gushes out evil. Yahweh is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart. Good news gives health to the bones. The ear that listens to reproof lives, and will be at home among the wise. He who refuses correction despises his own soul, but he who listens to reproof gets understanding. The fear of Yahweh teaches wisdom. Before honor is humility. Yes. And so now Acts chapter 23. Paul, looking steadfastly at the council, said, Brothers, I have lived before God in all good conscience until today. The high priest Ananias commanded those who stood by him to strike him on the mouth. Then Paul said to him, God will strike you, you whitewashed wall. Do you sit to judge me according to the law and command me to be struck contrary to the law? Those who stood by said, Do you malign God's high priest? Paul said, I didn't know, brothers, that he was the high priest, for it is written, You shall not speak evil of a ruler of your people. But when Paul perceived that the one part were Sadducees and the other were Pharisees, he cried out in the council, Men and brothers, I am a Pharisee, a son of Pharisees. Concerning the hope and the resurrection of the dead, I am being judged. When he had said this, an argument arose between the Pharisees and the Sadducees, and the crowd was divided. For the Sadducees say that there is no resurrection, nor angel, nor spirit, but the Pharisees confess all of these. A great clamor arose, and some of the scribes of the Pharisees' part stood up and contended, saying, We find no evil in this man, but if a spirit or angel has spoken to him, let's not fight against God. When a great argument arose, the commanding officer, fearing that Paul would be torn to pieces by them, commanded the soldiers to go down and take him by force from among them and bring him into the barracks. The following night, the Lord stood by him and said, Cheer up, Paul. For as you have testified about me at Jerusalem, so you must testify also in Rome. When it was day, some of the Jews banded together and bound themselves under a curse, saying that they would neither eat nor drink until they had killed Paul. There were more than 40 people who had made this conspiracy. They came to the chief priests and the elders and said, We have bound ourselves under a great curse to taste nothing until we have killed Paul. Now therefore, you with the council informed the commanding officer that he should bring him down to you tomorrow, as though you were going to judge his case more exactly. We are ready to kill him before he comes near. But Paul's sister's son heard they were lying in wait, and he came and entered into the barracks and told Paul. Paul summoned one of the centurions and said, Bring this young man to the commanding officer, for he has something to tell them. So he took him and brought him to the commanding officer and said, Paul the prisoner summoned me and asked me to bring this young man to you. He has something to tell you. The commanding officer took him by the hand and going aside asked him privately, What is it that you have to tell me? He said, The Jews have agreed to ask you to bring Paul down to the council tomorrow, as though intending to inquire somewhat more accurately concerning him. Therefore, don't yield to them, for more than 40 men lie in wait for him, who have bound themselves under a curse to neither eat nor drink until they have killed him. Now they are ready, looking for the promise from you." So the commanding officer let the young man go, charging him, "Tell no one that you have revealed these things to me." He called to himself 2 of the centurions and said, "Prepare 200 soldiers to go as far as Caesarea, with 70 horsemen and 200 men armed with spears, at the 3rd hour of the night." He asked them to provide mounts, that they might set Paul on one and bring him safely to Felix, the governor. He wrote a letter like this: "Claudius Lysias, to the most excellent governor Felix, greetings. This man was seized by the Jews and was about to be killed by them when I came with the soldiers and rescued him, having learned that he was Roman. Desiring to know the cause why they accused him, I brought him down to their council. I found him to be accused without questions of their law, but not to be charged with anything worthy of death or of imprisonment. When I was told that the Jews lay in wait for the man, I sent him to you immediately, charging his accusers also to bring their accusations against him before you. Farewell." So the soldiers, carrying out their orders, took Paul and brought him by night to Antipatris. But on the next day they left the horsemen to go with him and returned to the barracks. When they came to Caesarea, they delivered the letter to the governor. They also presented Paul to him. When the governor had read it, he asked what province he was from. When he understood that he was from Cilicia, he said, "I will hear you fully when your accusers also arrive." He commanded that he be kept in Herod's palace. Can you imagine being Paul? I mean, he was part of the Romans killing Christians. He completely turned himself around and followed Christ. And now he's one of the people that he used to capture. I mean, what a twist in the mind, a pretzel in the brain. Psalm chapter 57. And honestly, that's how it goes. When you leave your old life to follow Christ, changes have to be made. And they're usually temporary, as we'll find out with Paul. So, Psalm chapter 57. This is for the chief musician, to the tune of "Do Not Destroy," a poem by David when he fled from Saul in the cave. Be merciful to me, God, be merciful to me, for my soul takes refuge in you. Yes, in the shadow of your wings I will take refuge until disaster has passed. I cry out to God Most High, to God who accomplishes my requests for me. He will send from heaven and save me. He rebukes the one who is pursuing me. God will send out his loving kindness and his truth. My soul is among lions. I lie among those who are set on fire, even the sons of men whose teeth are spears and arrows, and their tongue is a sharp sword. Be exalted, God, above the heavens, and let your glory be shown above all the earth. They have prepared a net for my steps. My soul is bowed down. They dig a pit for me, and they fall into the middle of it themselves. My heart is steadfast, God. My heart is steadfast. I will sing, yes, I will sing praises. Wake up, my glory, wake up, lute and harp. I will wake up the dawn. I will give thanks to you, Lord, among the peoples. I will sing praises to you among the nations, for your great loving kindness reaches to the heavens, and your truth to the skies. Be exalted, God, above the heavens. Let your glory be over all the earth. Yes, that is how we sing when we are in trouble. The trouble is not going to stop. It might stop temporarily, but it will come back again. And in those times of trouble, we just take our eyes and we just look at God. We take our hearts and we just hold on to God. And we sing. Out of holding on, there's that comfort that will draw out a song and praise and thankfulness. So I hope that is encouraging. It encourages me, I'll tell you what. So thank you everyone for stopping by. I hope you have a fantastic day today, and I will see you tomorrow for day 84. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.